of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Hi everyone, welcome to Cannabis and Coffee with me, Tamarijuana. It's Monday night, and I went to go outside 2 minutes ago, and it's fucking snowing, man. Snowing. Like, I'm done with winter. I'm so done with winter because, it's quite common though. I remember on April 20th, 420, driving to Edmonton in a fucking blizzard too. So we're getting close to 420 right now, and it's catching up quick. It's already it's the 4th tomorrow. So within 2 weeks, we're going to have 420s going, hopefully everywhere across Canada and the world, quite frankly. We like to have them everywhere. And I know a lot of people have said, well, we don't need to have 420s anymore because we've got legalization and we don't need to do these things. Yes, we do, because we still have things to fight for. We still have protesting to do for patients. And we also have some celebrations to, do as well, because we did get this far. People aren't getting arrested for cannabis. You do have access to, a majority of what you need or what you want. But the edibles, the dosing, and the patients still don't have enough access to what they need. So there's still a fight there. So we still need protesting, and we still need to have some fun. Right? That's how I feel anyways. So this evening I have one of my dearest, oldest friends with me. She's again holding another cannabis cup out in Vancouver. She's done mum cups, and she helped me with Kootenai Cannabis Cup. She's been to my cup. I've been to her cups. And now she's doing another one on 420. So we're going to welcome Mae Moon for my guest this evening. We're going to talk about Cannabis 420.
Hi, I'm Mae Moon, and this is Paper No Blunts. We are in Brookswood, BC, staying warm in the Kush cart, which is great. And what are we smoking?
This is some Zach's cake. So Jungle Boys Kush cross Sea Junkies wedding cake.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I'm doing another cup on April 19th.
Sour diesel in a legal store. And it's fucking tasty, and it's good. So I'll just say
man.
That.
So on April 19th, we're going to do the 420 cup at the New Amsterdam Cafe. And speaking of legal weed and underground weed, this cup is a merger of all worlds. So we have people that are growing their 4 plants legally at home. We have people in the underground market, and we have people in the legal market. And everybody's entering within the allowance of the 1 ounce, gifting. So, there's only 8 grams of cannabis inside the 420 cup kit. Though when we get to the Amsterdam on the 19th, everyone that was to receive a 420 cup kit has had it, has judged it, all the results are in. The 42 live happens on the 19th, so we're doing all of the samples that are in the 420 cup, plus all the stuff that's being brought by the people locally. Haha, that's my neighbor, that's fun. The teenagers were smoking pot in the car again. No, it's the adults. We've run away from the teenagers to go get high.
We sit in our car. It was funny because I remember, sitting in the car trying to get away from the kids, and then worried about the smell, because smell at one time, if you got pulled your car apart, just tossed and caused you so much. In fact, I've been there, done that a few times, where the smell has gotten you not the best time with a cop. Now they don't even care. You can be rolling down the street smoking a joint. I don't think they'd even fucking care, even though you're not technically supposed to. It's an impairment, which I find ridiculous.
I mean, you're not technically supposed to drink on the roads either, but some people walk down the street with a discreet alcoholic beverage in their hand, and as long as they're not out of control with it, they just let them do it.
Usually when I get pulled over with the smell of pot now, the first thing they do is hand me a breathalyzer, because if I've been drinking, it gives them the right to seize my car and keep it. If I haven't been drinking, that means that I'm probably not lying about my cannabis consumption use. And that just usually tell me to go home.
No,
Right.
I don't smoke pot in my vehicle.
I
But then I
don't.
have kids. I don't smoke at all in my vehicle, whether they're, it doesn't matter. It's just a non-smoking vehicle, period.
Right.
I don't vape in it, nothing. It's my kid's vehicle, and just leave it that way. Same with my house. Don't smoke inside either. Go outside or in the car, or this particular car.
Well, for me, because I've been medical for 20 years, and most of the condos I've lived in across Canada have a no smoking bylaw, I've had nowhere else to go but my car.
Right.
So we've played a big part in trying to, normalize the fact that, not everybody has a place that they can just go smoke it. Like
I
when I
know a
was living,
patient that actually did a test in Ontario, and she was able to drive legally with cannabis because she was a patient and had gone and did a road test because she challenged it and said, I I need cannabis to drive. If I don't smoke cannabis while I'm driving, I'm going to have road rage so bad that I will kill somebody. So, and this was her argument that she was gonna, she needed cannabis to drive. She couldn't drive without it, and she got a piece of paper that said that she could drive higher than whatever. She was a medical patient and she needed that medicine to help her drive.
a perfect example of that is one of our guests that'll be at the 42 Cup at Amsterdam in
42 Live.
the 42 Live. Yeah, the New Amsterdam coffee shop on the 19th will be Ross, the gold medalist.
He challenged that. Yeah, they told him he wasn't allowed to have cannabis in his system, and he fought it, and he won. Got his gold medal back.
Right? You've got the Michael Phelpses of this world with like 13 gold medals. He's a everyday pot smoker.
Right.
I don't believe pot actually impairs you that way. I think, at a certain point, I guess if you're
Well, they tried to argue that it was an enhancement drug.
Yeah. And
Which I thought,
they still believe that it impairs people. And to be fair, I know people that probably shouldn't drive if they smoke too much cannabis. But I
yeah,
also know people that it doesn't affect the same way. And I think it should be case by case. Like I know people that can't, nobody can drink and drive. Like that's just a gift, right? We already know that
I
alcohol
don't
impairs,
drink alcohol anymore, so yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I don't drink alcohol at all anymore. But
it's
I
been
know that,
15 years for me. So
right? So I mean, but we all know that alcohol impairs people. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
we
for sure.
absolutely does. Whether people think they're impaired or not, after a couple beers, you are. You definitely are. I notice it even in myself. I have one drink and I can feel that little bit of a, and I'm an asshole when I drink sometimes, but I'm never an asshole when I smoke cannabis. I'm an asshole, so I bet. It doesn't accentuate that I'm an asshole when I smoke cannabis, but alcohol accentuates my assholism, right? Because I think we're all a little bit of an asshole at some point. So, but cannabis doesn't make me more of an asshole, but alcohol does.
it
So,
makes me more of a smart ass than an asshole. Cannabis.
I just, I don't know. I'm always a smart ass too. I don't think
Yeah, me too.
I think the cannabis just makes it so that I don't kill people.
Yeah, it definitely rounds the edges off the day for me. It little less jagged.
Yeah, I have 5 kids, so there's moments where I just need to take a little time out, have a couple tokes, go back.
Right?
But I've been a medical patient now since 2012 on paper. I'm going to sneeze. My apologies. Oh boy. Thank
I
you.
was
But yeah, so it's been 11
exactly what
years.
my show is. There's like, this is cannabis and coffee. We're sitting here having a tea. I'm having a tea and a fucking toke because that's what this show is. This is me doing my own thing in my room, hanging out like a bunch of stoners do, right? Because
Yeah,
that's what
right.
we
We're
do.
just like sitting in the car. Kind of fun.
This just reminds me of a morning phone call. So what do that we do on Facebook? And that's
Yeah,
pretty much what I want this show to be like. It's just like hanging out, finding out, getting information, sharing stories with patients, and we all are, right?
exactly.
I did. I got 5 kids. I got 4 kids. Thank God, only fucking one of them lives with me. But but we're just normal people, and I think that's what I want to do with all of this is normalize cannabis because we are just everyday people with families and kids, just trying to get by the best we can. We work, like, but the stigma is still there, right? And I'm
Yeah.
actually finding it less and less because where I work is a mainstream garden center, and they like people come in until we talk about weed all the time. Like my boss asks me, "So how's your cannabis plants doing, Tamara? How are your chickens and your weeds?" She'll say to me, right? Because that's the thing. Like I want people to look at you and me and go, "Oh, well, you smoke weed? Yeah, you're right on." Like that's good because we're hardworking, fucking normal, decent people that are parents, just like everybody else. And you look your nose down at me for fucking 30 years because I smoke weed. Now that it's legal, you changed your mind. And I just think that's terrific, to be honest. Like as much as I just want to go, but in reality, the stigma is kind of coming off, right?
Hmm.
How many
Well,
times did your
I've had
teachers at the kids' schools about your cannabis and that you're Mae Moon? And you had to show them that you're just an everyday person like everybody else, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Raising your kids and doing all these things, and how you go about doing it is still being a good parent, no matter how you slice it, no matter how much cannabis you smoke. So that's helping take the stigma off parenting, I think, in kids too, and cannabis.
Yeah.
well, and we're seeing that with a lot of the world market starting to change to a recreational style cannabis system. We're going to see a lot less stigma coming from all over the rest of the planet.
Well,
Sorry.
I don't know. There's so like Portugal, what is it? Who legalized all drugs first? Was it Portugal?
Uruguay.
Yeah,
Uruguay.
that's right. But isn't it
Well,
like
BC's now legalized all drugs. I
Me-
mean, in small amounts.
Mexico has too.
Yeah.
Spain is slowly going that way. Amsterdam, it's been that way for 60 years. You know what I mean? Like, the whole decriminalization, it's really funny. I like to say, after so many, decades of the war on drugs that, they couldn't beat, that legalization did it in less than 5 years. And we see that in the markets right now, and the costs of things right now from growers. Like people are losing their shirts because these other guys are able to grow, the Auroras of this world. It's a $92 million facility. Like, can you imagine the amount of cannabis you could grow in that?
Endless.
they're throwing it away too. That's what makes me sick. Is that they're only allowed to grow so much, and instead of being able to donate it back to the patients or the other market or somewhere else, they have to destroy it.
Well, it's not even getting destroyed. Like I was watching in Edmonton as it was being backdoored out the back
I've
door.
seen that too, and I saw in the news that one of these facilities had an extra room that they concealed. They got fined for it. Like, wow, guys.
Well,
Well,
again,
that's what I think is so funny. It's like, who do you think is running these legal? The ones that had, that were doing it illegal, like how they passed, through the whatever they got through the security checks or whatever they did have to do.
Yeah.
well, it's the
So
security checks aren't that hard. Like literally, all you have to have is a significant other that doesn't have a criminal record.
Yeah, but all the money had to be completely legal, and who has that kind of money
yeah,
illegally or legally for that matter? That's why there's only a few.
That's
and there's
just
lots of investors. Like there's like multiple investors in most of those places. Like it's not just one person that had a big pocket. It's
well,
multiple investors. In fact, Darkar here is still asking for people to pretty much invest in their company because they need money.
well. I watched the owner of Aurora, Terry Booth. I knew him before he started it, and we smoked pot before that. But when he quit after 10 years of working the medical system, he walked away with 800 million.
Oh yeah, I don't get it.
And he just stood back and watched the whole thing like fold underneath him. And now and now you got a $92 million facility that sits empty in Edmonton at one of the best shipping points in the world for product.
Does it really sit empty? That's crazy.
Yeah. lights are off. They didn't take any of their equipment out of it. It all went right to default, right? So right into bankruptcy.
Oh my God,
And
really?
he walks away with the 800 million because he's not Aurora, he's Terry.
Yeah, fair enough. I know a
Oh,
lot of people that entered the LP or the legal realm, I should say, didn't walk away happy.
Well,
They sold their brands, they sold their images or whatever it may be, and then nothing really came to fruition with their brand. So they sold it and then nothing cool happened. You know what I mean? But there's a few of them like that.
well, he was smart. So what Terry did with his 800 million is he took, 20 of it and he invested in these new cannabis dispensary models called Value Buds.
Never heard of them.
And I don't know
never
if
heard of it.
well, okay, so in Edmonton, we've got over 768 dispensaries. So we have more dispensaries than Tim Hortons in Alberta.
Which is
Oh, I know
crazy.
that. I started in
Uh,
last. That's where I got my start, was when I'm from Alberta, right?
yeah, so now Terry, the owner of Aurora, when he folded under that, he took 20 million and invested it in the biggest like Walmart of weeds that he actually calls Value Buds, and he buys every single product under the label from each province
Like Canada, same
in
type.
Canada. And
Neat.
basically he's got the majority of the market, because now he's got everything from every province that other little stores couldn't get because they didn't have the buying power to buy it. And like $20 ounces, $40 ounces, like I've never seen anything like it. And he's just put the whole cannabis industry in Alberta out of business overnight.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know. We don't have enough cannabis dispensaries here in the Lower Mainland.
Well, I was
Oh,
going to say
sorry,
that
go ahead.
the first mistake they did was allow too many people to have licensing to open stores in Alberta, or even here. Like, there are more there's more cannabis stores in Cranbrook, BC than there's liquor stores. Like, there's literally one every 2 blocks.
We
And
only have one cannabis store here, period, and it's in Aldergrove. It's like a 15-minute drive from here.
There's a dozen in
But in Surrey, there's like 30 of them or something. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's
Chilliwack's got
30.
a dozen or so too.
yeah, but here, like I said, in Cranbrook, we've got like fucking 12 or 14 of them now.
One in Aldergrove. And that's it.
But that, you got to remember that.
But we have liquor stores everywhere. We have a drive-through liquor store here on 200th and 24th.
Yeah, but
Right?
BC Bud is a name brand. It's a culture. That's not going anywhere. I don't think you can actually scrub that out. It doesn't matter how many stores you put under it.
I guess so. I don't know. I haven't been really following the legal sector, to be honest, Chad. I've been just kind of, I don't know. I've been just sitting back and smoking joints. All I did was I came back because I want to have fun. I've noticed that there's a lot of separation after legalization. Some friends went to the legal realm. Some of them went and became LPs, working for LPs, and others stayed in the underground market. Others completely retired and are working at Home Depot or are running coffee shops. You know what I mean? And then there are those that have rebranded and are trying something new. So there's so much division. Like, that's why I feel like the 420 Cup and this year is super important, because we can allow all those worlds to coexist. If we can just, the whole point was to get our freedom, and I realized that it should all be free. You should be able to do it in any direction possible. If you want to grow dope, you want to sell dope. I feel like the laws are way too tight. They need to be changed. You were talking about how you still need to protest. You still need to have fun. And definitely there's things still to protest. There's laws to be changed within this law change. Yeah, it's legal, but there's so many subdivisions of this law that need to be picked apart and made so that it's actually a free market. And I don't know how far you can really do that with the laws the way they are, but certainly it can be freed up a lot more than it actually is. And it's good to see people are still willing to come back together after such a harsh division. But yeah, there's been a lot of big deals watching them on. I have seen a couple of them when it first started, and it was like 2018, 2019. And I'm like, wow, look at the stock markets. Like, there's actually cannabis stuff on there. That's kind of fun. So I never watched that stuff before, and I log in a couple times here and there. But I gave up years ago. That doesn't really interest me. I just want some good weed at my door, whether it comes from a store, someone delivers it, someone sends it in the mail, someone gives it to me. I don't care how I get
Grow
it,
it in
as
your
long as
garage,
it's
right?
yeah,
Like,
it's just got to be good weed. That's where I'm at, and it seems like all sectors are able to provide that, and all sectors are also able to provide bad weed. I've definitely seen a lot of really bad weed come out of the legal stores, especially in the beginning. I remember getting this holy weed, and I don't know what else to say other than it was holy weed, like they had carved out. Thank you, the seeds, which totally makes sense. So like, you know, remove the seeds from it and the husk, and then it would be good weed still. But you know, you get this beautiful bud, and it's like, what happened to my bud? And then there was another batch where I got little bugs in it. Like, dude, come on, man, we cannot be sending jars of marijuana with bugs in it. And I have seen this in the illegal sector as well, or people home growing. It's not like this mistake has not been done before, but I was just a little shocked from like a controlled environment to see somebody produce that. So I was kind of like, wow, like doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum, like you can fuck up and you can do great. I remember getting this black, purple, white, crystally fucking shit out of the store in Aldergrove, and I was like, what fucking godsend is this? And it was amazing, but it was $45 for 2 grams. But it was beautiful. I took pictures of it. It was lovely in the grinder. But yeah, I've also seen that kind of stuff in the illegal sector. That seems to be the big difference, is that the gray market or the black market, whatever you want to call it, the prices are much lower. And, you know, you're getting like quads, like, you know, $40, $50 quad ounces, where at least we're in my community in the Lower Mainland. You can get that kind of stuff quite regularly. Sometimes as high as like $80 for quads, but you know, you're really not paying that much more unless, you know, you just don't have really good hookups, or maybe you're just a little too far out from the Lower Mainland. But yeah, that kind of stuff from the legal market is like, you know, 4, 5, 6 times the price of that. I've seen like edibles where they're like, it's 5 milligrams. I'm like, for the whole candy? And
For the whole
so
pack.
I'm in North Vancouver and I go and use the legal store there, and I go to buy a drink, and I was like, it's only 5 milligrams. I'm like, I'm gonna need like 100 of these. And the guy's like, you're like the equivalent of an alcoholic, but for weed. And I was like, excuse me? So I grabbed a 4-pack, and I decided I would just like drink one of those 1,000 milligram shots you get from the underground market, you know, and then I drank the 4-pack of 5 milligram drinks. All right.
yeah.
1,020 milligrams.
Well,
Jesus.
I think the problem with the legal market is you'd catch diabetes before you'd catch a buzz.
Right?
So
Right.
and that sounds terrible to say, but like,
It's true.
you know, it's very true. I love the fact that that the legal market exists, because there is good weed there, but it's just not being seen yet.
And I also think it's harder to be a grower in the legal market because they expect them to have certain percentages on weed. You know, it's a more regulated thing. Like you need to be between this percentage and this percentage, or it's not good, and they will destroy it. Or in some bad cases, they break the rules and they backdoor it. But like a lot of these people were criminals to begin with, so to like backdoor it instead of destroy it, like I don't know, man. I can't imagine to be in this multi-million-dollar facility and not have the ability to pay all the bills because I can't backdoor some of it.
Well,
So who am I to judge what people have done to try and stay on top? I mean, like, you know, back in the day, I ran a dispensary. I certainly don't do that anymore. But, you know, we were slanging $25 half ounces to people like all the time to patients. And, you know, we've all done our share of fighting the rules, being the bad boy or whatever. Everyone played their part, whether they were just protesting or they were.
They were drug dealers. Where's our shirts?
The one thing I can say is, if you like, I've started the legal market for people and their facilities and got them up off the ground, and
Not me at all. I've had nothing to do with it beyond smoke it and like it.
But what I can tell you from it is, if you do a startup right and you run it the first time before anything gets used, right? So what they do is they give you a 6-month period at the beginning to run your first crop twice so you can dial it in. So the first 3 months you run it, you test it, you find
Now,
it.
is this a LP or is this a craft cannabis facility?
No, it's an LP.
LP, okay.
Yes.
Because I know that there is a difference between them. I just don't know what the difference is.
Okay, so craft cannabis is it's a micro license is what it is.
So it's like a small portion of
Yes.
what it, okay, gotcha.
It's 2,200 square feet.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
big.
the two blue lines of a hockey drink.
Yes. And then when you look at an LP has the production to build as big as they want, and they can produce as much as they want, plus they get the licensing to be able to ship medical worldwide. So
Oh, that's cool.
my friends in the LP system,
And they have to have testing facilities, and they have
yeah,
to have their own. If they're making edibles, they have to have their own team. Their own
They're
commercial.
so low dose. I can't understand these doses. Like, they're just so low.
I know.
So you take that first crop that you grow in the first 3 months and you test all 20 plants. Now you want it at 17.5% THC because you want to be able to ship it to someplace like Israel, like Tel Aviv, say, to a medical program. So you want to hit that 17.5. So now you have to test every plant in the room until you find the 17.5. And then you got to tissue culture that plant on your next round. So this is where a lot of these LPs go wrong, is they grow whatever, and then they try to regulate it from there. They have to literally spend the first 3 months, pick your one, tissue culture it, and then the whole room will be 17.5 all the way across.
Wow.
It's just an extra step. It's the same thing like a lot of these illicit grows, they grow on the floor. Health Canada requests that you have it 3 to 5 inches off the floor because, you know, anything that's for human consumption, even in a restaurant or any place like that, has to be 3 to 5.
Oh, we've lost them. Oh, there we are. They're back. I can't hear you though. I can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. You have to unmute yourself, Mae Moon. Oh, good grief. We're having some issues, so what we'll do is we'll go to a commercial break. So I'd like to thank all my sponsors, and we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. But for now,
we are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBGTV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
Are you watching television on Roku, Fire, maybe an Apple TV or even Chromecast? If you are, then download the Boxcast app and search for CBGTV.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from, the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hi, well, I'm back. Oh, and Asia's back too. We were having some technical difficulties, so
We did. Sorry about that.
That's why we went to a commercial, so nobody really
I
knows.
dropped the phone off the dashboard.
Whoops. Oh well, that's what happens when you're having a good time, smoking, hot dogs in a car, like hanging out, having a conversation, whatever. You said went to commercial, it was all good. So you were telling us about what they need, like about the 3 to 5 feet off the floor for a licensed producer and all these things. So
Yeah,
keep explaining. That's quite interesting because it makes sense. Like if you're producing food or having to do anything with dealing with Health Canada, in hindsight, because reality is you're dealing with their standards, their regulations. It's their health and beauty standards, their food standards, whatever alcohol legislation, blah blah, right?
Well, where the real problem lies with legalization right now is the fact that every province thinks that they should have their hands in it before it goes to a store.
Well, that's the federal government's fault because they gave jurisdiction to the provinces, right? But that's that's a hard one.
Manitoba and Quebec, you're not allowed to grow at home.
Right? But I mean, that's the thing. The provinces expect to have jurisdiction. It's a political thing when it comes to healthcare. And because cannabis fell under alcohol, which is already being regulated by each province, right? That's all the way it's always been, is jurisdiction. So cannabis fell under the provincial jurisdiction. I said that a long time ago. It's going to be a patchwork of fucking stupid different rules and regulations all across the country. And and it really is like you said, Manitoba, Quebec, you can't grow weed. You can't even, have a pot leaf in Quebec. Our friend Loretta was working at an LP in Montreal too, and they're pretty harsh. And I guess Health Canada's down their neck a lot. Like they're in there checking. They got cameras. They're under surveillance all the time. And this is in Quebec. Like I'm not sure if it's the same in Alberta where you've got Health Canada showing up every other week or whatever, right? And it just seems that's she was saying that Health Canada's in there checking on them all the time. And that's Quebec. So that'd be freaky. I can't hear you either. You're muted. Hang on. Now she's gone again. Well, we're having some technical difficulties tonight. And that's okay because it's just, a live show that sometimes shit happens. And we'll just keep, talking for a minute until she decides if we can figure out what's going on. But interesting enough, like how different provinces, like we were talking about, have different regulations. And that's what has always been hard, I think, is that BC has different regulations from Alberta. Everything has to go through the province. Just like I can't get some of my friends' supercharged joints in British Columbia, even though they're produced in British Columbia and grown in British Columbia, they send them out to Ontario because different liquor control boards control it, right, all the way across. So depending on what they buy, what they pass for their regulations, whether they pass their regulations, is whether they can actually get into the market. Oh, I just heard her pop back in, so everything must have worked itself out. There we go.
Electronics are horrible.
Oh, that's all right. Like I said, I just kept blithering away until you figured it out because I knew you'd figure it out.
My kids are home.
Oh. When were they not home before?
I know they're with their dad. You can hear Pandora. I think she just hurt herself on the way out of the vehicle now. She's like,
no.
Owie, owie, oh no.
But her pink rabbit ears are still very tall.
They're all getting big. Oh, I hear door slamming.
Oh. Balloons? Oh, that's awesome.
Pink balloons.
Oh, they look happy. That's great.
Bunny ears.
Right on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I guess it's almost the Easter bunny hopping along. I'm working. I'm taping.
You going again, Panda? Yes, have fun.
nice. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, kids. Good luck.
Don't
I
die.
still have one that
Don't
never
die.
loses their, like he's here all the time. He might go out with his friends, and when he does go out with his friends, it's not for long. Yeah.
I just dropped off Atlas. I'm just getting over the plague from my son Fox.
Oh
Kids are
no.
good. Mm-hmm.
Were you sick again? You've been sick.
Yeah, Fox got it. I got it, but nobody else got it.
What was it? The plague?
I just call it the plague. I don't know what it was, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, people are sick still everywhere, and there's all kinds of other stuff going around too. So, and I work in the public. Like I said, I get to go to work every day and talk to people about cannabis and house plants and lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and all kinds of cool shit.
Oh, not me. I have little children, so I get to talk about cocomelon and Coe and Chapeau, Paw Patrol, which is the same in or one and the same. And then there's oh my God.
Oh, the Ecuadorian drug cartel family.
Oh my goodness. There's this one family watches on YouTube and they look like they're some sort of like drug lords and they drive all these white shiny Escalades. Loves it.
They're from like Ecuador or something like
but yeah,
that.
the show was just like, wow. What's the one with the yum yum num num num? He watches that one all the time. Hold on, it drives me crazy, but it's funny at the same time. But all their hair is like cartoon styled, and yeah, they're all different colors and rainbows and.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's what I get to do all day.
I'm thankful I'm too old for that stage anymore.
Yeah, I'm just in the midst of it, right? Because the youngest one's 2.
I know, you're crazy. I thought I was crazy having a baby.
Oh, and Bluey, that's another favorite.
See, and I had Barney.
Barney's making a comeback. I'm not sure if he's going to make it into my house,
I
but he's
don't know.
making a comeback.
And Teletubbies, and that was the first round of kids, and then Tatum was into the Weeble.
Oh, Tubby Custard, num num num.
Yeah, I still have one of those. I like a real one, like from in my closet, because you know how I got a fucking Bug's Life, a life-size Bug Life. I think I showed you that when you were here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I usually wrap weed around its neck and drive it around. Take it with me for a friend. Yeah, it's just. But yeah, I think we should do another cup here or something. But let's get back to talking about your, So where is this and what's the deal?
We're going to be at the New Amsterdam Cafe in Vancouver. So that's on April 19th.
Are you sold out of kits? Like, are you done?
We have some 42 live kits available. However, all the other kits are gone. You can reach us at the 420 Cup 2023 at gmail.com, or you can go to our webpage, which is 3happycats.biz or .ca. There's a few other sites. They all link to the same thing, but yeah, we're 3 Happy Cats. It is. Oh wow. My daughter has returned. She must have forgot something.
She's related to you, right? I understand.
Yeah.
They say it's not.
Super loud. Oh, no, no longer loud. I don't know. Is he leaving?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's quickly.
Okay, so people can still get tickets live. So that means that they can show up at the door. Can you get them? No, because you want the night of the cup. You want everybody to have their kits, right?
Sorry, my daughter just yelled out the window. What the hell?
Yeah, we will have kits for them, like a sampling trays will be out at the cup for everybody to sample on that evening.
There is space upstairs, but there is no more downstairs space. But you can still get a VIP 42 live kit. You can get it mailed and sent in the mail if you like. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. The difference between the 420 Cup and the 42 Live is the 420 Cup was for all those people that were super far away, that, don't have the opportunity to come in or, just don't get the same experience as the rest of us do. So those are all going to like remote areas mostly. And then the 42 Live is all of us together, doing it together on the 3 Happy Cats Facebook page. So you can catch the whole show there from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. And yeah, there is also some guest list tickets. And I was thinking about giving one away sometime this week through our page. So stay tuned if you want to try and win a ticket at some point.
Right? And you got Happy Cats, 3 Happy Cats on Facebook.
Correct. Yeah, we'll be live streaming the show from there.
Oh, that's great.
Our friend Ken from Living Soil is going to be running our cameras for us, which is super great. He has a really great recording and has been very good at documenting all of our stuff we've been doing lately. So I'm really happy to have him back. He's traveling in from Edmonton, is it? I believe so, yes. He's coming in from Edmonton. But yeah, he's going to drive in and take care of business. So I'm excited to have that. Oh, we have a special guest coming. We have Brent Ray Fraser coming. I'm not sure what he's going to paint us this time, but it's going to be awesome.
Is that going to be live on the Facebook page? Woohoo!
So one thing I was thinking, though, is I might live stream it from my other account. So that in case it gets shut down. But I mean, it's going to be covered in paint. You're not going to see it. That's enough, like, what's the right word for it? Censorship, right? If it's smothered in paint?
Yeah, I would think so.
I hope so.
Or blending.
You guys blend.
Blend.
You could also, yeah.
Mike Rita is coming to do some roasting of basically anyone he feels like he needs to take a crack at.
Including the professor.
Including the professor, the King of Cabasas.
Uh-huh.
I just said that on the air. He's going to so be upset with me. And I don't care, Sterling. We're really excited to have you as our host.
And we love you.
And we love you, 420 Professor. Yeah. I mean, he did ask for it. He said he would get on the plane, right?
Pony, no.
Golden BSP will be there.
Yes.
Yes, and Petty Boy. You're hilarious, Golden Pony. Love it.
Golden Pony. I can't be on top of it all, man.
It's fair. And then we have Firestorm Entertainment coming with us. We have Remo and Johnny B coming. They are going to be hosting the 42 Live for us, which will be super great. Other than that, we've got some famous judges in the house, which is going to be fun. I don't know. I'm just excited to get high, really. A bunch of people having a good time.
Listen, I love to meet new people. I love to meet people I know and have a sesh. But if I can just
You're gone again. Her phone was shut down. It must give you 10 minutes and then turn itself off again. Because she's on her phone. And I bet you that's what's going on, right? Yep. Every time it turns off, it's 10 minutes. It is. It's I'm sure her phone. But that's okay. Technology does what it does. So she pops in and pops out. But yeah, so 419, which is the day before 420. And it's at the Amsterdam Cafe. And I was going to go, but I can't get time off work with my job, with my new job. And there's other obligations that I should be attending in May too that I won't be going to either because it's busy time at a garden center. People are growing all kinds of things. So, and including cannabis. So I've got to be there, be at, work and be there to help people grow their things. Unfortunately, that leaves me not able to attend these things. Or my 9 dogs and my cats and my son. And, I'm kind of stuck at home, which really kind of the reason why I do this, because then I can virtually come in and, educate and talk to people where I wouldn't be able to because I can't leave my shit show. And that's it. Bottom line, can't leave my shit show. Oh, she's back. Woohoo! It's on.
I'm live streaming from my phone, so whenever a call comes in, apparently it disconnects the whole thing.
Yeah, mine does the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it's on a 10-minute probably cycle, right? So every 10 minutes it, decides to shut itself off. Mine does that too.
There we go. That should do things.
Well, we're down to the last 15 minutes anyways, so we want to get as much information out there to how people get, so you've got no kits that are like everybody's kits are mailed out. That's where that's at. You want to get a kit, you can still get a kit. How do you do that? Are you frozen? She's frozen. Did you hear that?
No, so sorry.
That's her.
My daughter is like spam messaging me over something. There we go. I have fixed the problem. Jesus. Children are something else sometimes. So sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's life, man. It's life. So do you have no tickets left, or how do people get tickets?
There is some VIP tickets left, but there's no GA. So like, it's unfortunate, but it's $200 if you want to get in now.
But there is like almost 60 samples.
It's going to be really pretty. Yeah.
So the Amsterdam Cafe is in the original spot. What's upstairs?
The New Amsterdam Cafe used to be above Blunt Brothers, or what was it? Hemp BC, and that building burnt down. Remember? So they moved over.
Okay.
They're literally below Cannabis Culture.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah. Like I knew that. Like that's what I'm saying. That they're in the same. Like they're underneath Cannabis Culture now.
It's been like that for a while. Our friend
Yeah.
Todd just arrived.
Woohoo!
So yeah, like I think it's going to be a great time, and it's a great way to kick off 420. We've got multiple events going on around our city for 420 this year, which is, be nice to see everybody united, but at the same time, it's nice to see that the events are still happening.
Right. Well,
right. So, I think my favorite part about it is that we get a free concert from Mercules.
Yeah.
At Thornton Park. That's pretty awesome. Then there's an after party with Afroman. And then there's the Cannabis Cup with us.
Yeah, plus the 65-pound world record
joint.
Guinness World Record joint being rolled.
Woohoo!
And that's super cool because they had to make sure that they had enough rollers so each roller would only handle 28 grams while rolling it.
Oh, so it was legal.
So it was legal. So they had enough hands involved.
We're on Cannabis and Coffee. Live from Cranbrook.
I love that fact. Yeah, so we've got a ton of events, and then the after party at Enzo's Event Center with Afroman. And the rumor is that Mercules is going to do a guest appearance there, and they just did a song not too long ago, so we might actually see them perform together.
That's going to be cool.
Right.
Lots and lots of stuff, and it all starts off with our events. So, it has to start on a strong note and follow right through to the finish.
Yeah, that's true. But it is nice that the cup ends a little bit earlier so people can get up and get to 420 early. I know some people are vendors. They got to be up early in the morning to get their spaces, whether it be free space, paid spaces. You can get a hold of, it's 420 protest 2023 at gmail.com to be able to get more info on that. And it's loveoflive.ca for the Afroman after party tickets. So that's where you can get those, which is really nice. I mean, you only need the Thornton Park info if you're going to buy a booth or interested in sponsorship. But that is I guess an event that starts at, I want to say it's like 9 in the morning. It's pretty early. So make sure you're ready. There is a couple more events happening in the area. There's one on the beach on there's where we were at on July 1st at Sunset Beach. And there's another one at the Art Gallery.
And that there, I believe, is that is part of the protest. They're protesting, what was it? Oh, the Victoria Compassion Club, because they keep getting shut down.
I know. That's
what they're protesting there that day. I had to
Cool.
remember.
And that's good because, like, as much as I'd like to see everybody protesting everything in one spot, everybody just kind of hanging out and doing whatever, the more the merrier, I guess. How else can you look at it, right?
Yeah,
The more
exactly.
awareness, the stigma is getting less and less. More events are feeling, I guess, more freedom to do it. They don't feel that there's going to be any less repercussion, maybe. Like maybe that's what the freedom that we're all looking for is, that everybody's just being able to go and do in several different areas and not have to, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not doing the big protests, so I'm not sure what that entails. The only big protest I've really done here in Canada is the July 1st protest last year, and that was a lot of work. And talking to city officials and people direct me to like the organization with the police department so that they could work around the protest. It was quite exhausting, to be quite honest with you. So I have a bit of an idea of what it takes to do 420. Another group has taken over. And then, like I said, there's 2 other groups as well. So, I mean, it's a lot of work. I can't imagine what that takes. I believe that there's certainly there's rules that's being broken and stuff that could be like, I guess, enforced. But it seems like the Vancouver Police Department is really just looking for harmony and to let people kind of do what they need to do. I will say getting a permit for that kind of event is almost near impossible, unless you're willing to do it without certain things that we've kind of held classic to our hearts, like having weed vendors and people selling food or what have you without the appropriate licensing in place. So I think, despite some effort to try and get a permanent event, it just kind of went back to the old protest roots just because the city can't bend on certain stuff. And it is the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy to do an event like that for sure. Like, I mean, any event is not easy.
I mean, you had your struggles too with was it the second Kootenai Cup? Didn't they not want you to be at the event center that you had already paid for and planned out?
Yep. I had to move it to my backyard because of legalization. They didn't want to have alcohol and marijuana in the same spot, where the time before it didn't matter because it
Which is
wasn't
so
legal.
weird because I've seen that multiple times before and after legalization, so I'm not really sure what the thing is on that because, I've gone, for instance, I went to Lyft and I mean, I realized that's a real LP kind of party, but I wanted to go. I wanted to see what it was like. And then I got to the after party and, there's a lot of drinking inside. There was no cannabis inside, but it was beautiful. Like they had a display of these cool tacos and like donuts and like juice and unlimited drinks. And everybody was sneaking outside to go smoke joints. So they weren't smoking pot and drinking at the same place in the same space. The last time I seen that was in Saskatoon at Jeff's Cup, where we could like openly smoke weed and drink liquor at the same time. It was incredible. I've never done that before, and I have yet to match that experience again. However, the Mom Cup too allowed you to drink liquor outside and smoke weed at the same time, but they were like heated areas, so it was kind of a similar experience, but not quite the same.
First year
What's
weekend.
that?
The first year Kootenai Cannabis Cup, there was liquor and marijuana.
That's right. And they were letting us smoke outside was what the deal was.
On the patio.
That's right. Yeah.
They let it coexist in places like Amsterdam. You just can't buy cannabis in a bar in Amsterdam, but you can go to the bar with your cannabis and smoke a joint.
Oh, see, yeah, you can't do that here. In fact, I took the serve it right, whatever, because of like to get the licensing to serve liquor and cannabis. And if you're serving liquor and you smell cannabis, you have to ask that person to leave legally. And if you're running a cannabis store and somebody walks in and smells of alcohol, you can't serve them the cannabis either. And that's within the regulations in British Columbia to have a serve it right so that you can actually work in a bar, liquor store, or cannabis outlet. And I've got one of those pieces of paper that says that I can do all that. I just don't do it. I can serve liquor, like that's, where I got it. Because when I was working at that catering company, so if I had to bartend or something, I could legally serve liquor. It wasn't to serve cannabis. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so who we got 5 minutes left, so give your shout outs. Who you got to shout out? Throw out websites.
I guess I need to shout out to Only Wholesale. Thanks so much, guys. You've always been such a great supporter of everything I do. And you guys have such a great product. You're award winners, of course. And I guess I need to send out a shout out to Burfellow and all of his hard work in the background and helping us get all of our medtainers and our kits ready. Same with Turpfire and Karen. There's there's so many people I could actually thank. Mad Hatter Medicinals has helped out with quite a few things, including printing our shirts, so we're super appreciative of that. Our friend Todd here has spent endless hours pulling the little pieces apart so you guys could have all your beautiful hoodies and sweaters. My friend Chad here, Papers No Blondes, and myself literally wrapped all those little packs for your guys' 420 kits. And definitely a shout out to MedMan. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. You're always so generous. And Ross's Gold. Thanks, buddy. You're the best. And Remo Nutrients. Yes, definitely.
Remo.
Thank you so much, Remo. We appreciate all of your hard work and constantly supporting what we do. So, yeah, and that's a combination of Underworld, LP, and just, mom and pops, just people just doing shirts or, my case, just doing cups.
Right.
Yeah. And then, people like yourself, you've helped us out with so many cups as well. And you've entered the 42 lives. So we appreciate that. And it's been an interesting run from being completely criminalized to legalization. And here we are today, I suppose.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, Scallywag Seeds. Thank you, Paul. You're also another big supporter of me, and I appreciate that. He's out. I think it's on the other arm. Oh, and then Blown Away and A Tattoo Co. It's fun because Chad's got the hoodie on, so I can read everything out.
Ross's Gold, Remo,
Kingsman.
And the Amsterdam Cafe.
Experience actually in my garden center when I first started working there. I said to the owner, I said, she goes, "What do you do?" I says, "Get rid of all this crap."
You're gonna laugh. My phone's about to die after all that chaos with trying to stay on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We got a few more minutes left, 4 minutes. But yeah, I got them in the store. Like I've got their nutrients in Top Crop, in Kimberley and Cranbrook.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're selling it like fucking hotcakes. So I'd like to get.
I almost forgot you Fort Cannabis.
There you go.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, they're out in Ontario. I have yet to try their products, but I've definitely read their reviews, and there is not one that's under a 5 out of 5. So way to go, guys.
Woo-hoo.
I have 4 out of 5 stars.
Yay. So this is happening on 4/19, not 4/20. And if you are in the Vancouver Lower Mainland area and want to get tickets or go to the live show, you can get a hold of Asia on her many, Facebook or, Three Happy Cats websites, .ca.biz. And if you're in the Vancouver Lower Mainland area, there's lots of events going to be happening. And I guess there's probably events in Victoria, I think I've seen. There's also events in Calgary. There'll probably be an event in Saskatoon, I think, and I think Toronto as well. And I'm not sure about what Deb's doing down east, but I imagine there might be a 420 celebration somewhere down in Nova Scotia too.
Yeah, she did that Harvest Fest last year. I loved it. She had the pretty fox as her logo. She just sent me out some beautiful stuff from out her way. Yeah. Really appreciative of that. Oh, yeah. Icy Pot. Thanks to them as well.
Yeah, for sure. Canada, for sure. Absolutely. Nothing beats Icy Pot. Even I, use it all the time.
Yeah, we like
All right, again, we'd like to also thank our sponsors who are Cannabis Campbellford Lifestyle and Legacy 420 and CBG TV and Al, of course, at Pace Radio Network. And to you for being on my show. I appreciate it. And for everybody watching and my listeners and viewers, this is the end of tonight's show. So we'll say ciao for now, and we'll see you all next Monday. My guest next week is Tracy Lamare, and we'll see what she's been up to and what's new in her life. So y'all have a good night. Peace out.
Okay, peace.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network, here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partners 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBGTV, broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.